Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This presentation has been meticulously prepared by Pushpesh and will be delivered by Jackie. We are eager to share insights from the book, The Art of Public Speaking by Dale Carnegie. Since its publication in 1915, The Art of Public Speaking has remained a seminal guide for those seeking to deliver effective public speeches. Its clear language and practical advice have transformed countless novices into skilled orators over the years. About the author. Dale Carnegie, an esteemed American writer and lecturer, was renowned for his expertise in public speaking. His life's work focused on enhancing the abilities of his readers and listeners. His other notable works include How to Win Friends and Influence People and How to Enjoy Your Life and Your Job. J.B. Esenwein was an American academic and writer who made significant contributions as an editor for various U.S. publications and as an English instructor at Pennsylvania Military College. What is covered in this presentation? A comprehensive guide to mastering the art of public speaking. Dale Carnegie, in collaboration with J.B. Esenwein, The Art of Public Speaking, Phobias. Heights. Public speaking. Many of us harbor fears. However, even if you would prefer to traverse a spider-laden tightrope between skyscrapers rather than address an audience, public speaking need not be daunting. This presentation will demonstrate that proficiency in public speaking is achievable through practice. Initial discomfort is natural, but it is essential to persevere. Once you have embraced the challenge, progress becomes more manageable. Indeed, mastering the art of oratory is a rewarding pursuit. While it requires dedication, successful public speaking ultimately depends on genuine emotion and conviction in your subject matter. This presentation will offer practical strategies, from overcoming stage fright to engaging your audience effectively to support your authenticity and belief. Chapter 1. Becoming a proficient speaker requires practice, and overcoming stage fright is achievable. Just like swimming, mastering public speaking involves direct experience. You likely learn to swim by engaging in the activity rather than solely studying it. Similarly, developing oratory skills necessitates actively delivering speeches. Initially, standing before an audience may evoke anxiety. However, it is important to understand that many renowned speakers, such as William Gladstone and Henry Ward Beecher, experienced stage fright throughout their careers. The goal is not to eliminate fear entirely but to manage it effectively. One approach to achieving this is by focusing intently on the subject of your speech. By immersing yourself in the topic, concerns about personal appearance or audience perception diminish. Prioritize the content of your speech, allowing all unnecessary self-consciousness to dissipate. Having a well-prepared message is crucial. Many speakers falter due to inadequate preparation. To prevent this, ensure your material is thoroughly rehearsed and commit at least the opening lines to memory. Once prepared, anticipate success with a balanced mindset. Cultivate a humility that is open to growth, rather than one that is timid or subservient. Dismiss self-doubt and remain receptive to achieving success. Although initial attempts may feel challenging, continued practice will lead to improvement and confidence. Chapter 2. Utilize emphasis to overcome monotony. Envision yourself as a pianist. Whether you are performing your own compositions or interpreting those of others, there are numerous approaches to convey the music. You may choose to play at varying tempos, adjust the volume, or incorporate dynamic flourishes. In essence, there are no strict rules governing musical performance, much like public speaking. The key to a compelling speech lies in mastering the fundamentals, as monotony is a formidable adversary in both fields. Consider the impossibility of performing a Bach concerto on a one-keyed piano. Regardless of your determination or creativity, such a performance would inevitably be lackluster. To combat monotony, enhance your public speaking repertoire with a diverse range of techniques. The primary technique for delivering an engaging speech is emphasis, which involves highlighting and contrasting key ideas. A straightforward method is to stress significant words within your speech. Take, for instance, the sentence, "Destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice." The most effective way to deliver these sentences is by placing emphasis on the word destiny, as it is the focal point of the first sentence. Additionally, stress the word not to underscore the negation. The word chance warrants emphasis, as it will be contrasted with the pivotal word choice in the subsequent sentence. Emphasizing a word does not necessarily require increased volume. If speaking loudly, consider whispering the crucial word. Alternatively, if using a resonant tenor voice, express it in a deep bass. Altering your pitch is one of 3 techniques for emphasizing key ideas in a speech. The other 2 techniques involve adjusting your pace and incorporating pauses. In everyday conversation, individuals naturally speak more quickly when recounting exciting events and more slowly when conveying significant information. Pauses are often used for dramatic effect. Consider pausing immediately before or after an important word or phrase. Alternatively, you might swiftly articulate the less significant portion of a sentence, then gradually articulate the vital concluding words. Some of the keys to your instrument are now available to you, and how you choose to utilize them is a decision only you can make. Chapter 3. The ability to evoke emotion in your audience is essential in public speaking. Consider the impact of 2 speakers delivering anti-slavery speeches in pre-Emancipation Proclamation America. The first is a white politician with a commendable record in anti-slavery activism. The second is a black mother standing on the auction block, having just witnessed her son being taken away. Whose speech would you find more compelling? History provides a clear answer. Some of the most poignant speeches were delivered by enslaved black mothers, expressing the brutality of slavery. These women, although lacking formal training in oratory, possessed an innate emotional power that cannot be acquired through study or practice. Emotions are fundamental to our decision-making processes. Why do we choose to sleep in comfortable beds or drink cold water on a hot day? These decisions are guided more by what feels right than by logic or reason. Aspiring speakers should embrace this understanding. Engaging the emotions of your audience, even briefly, is often more persuasive than extended logical argumentation. This principle is illustrated by a marketing experiment conducted by a New York watchmaker. He launched 2 advertising campaigns. The first highlighted the watch's features, such as durability, functionality, and design. The second focused on the emotions associated with owning the watch, encapsulated in the slogan, "A watch to be proud of." Unsurprisingly, the latter campaign outperformed the former, doubling sales. So how can you incorporate emotion into your speeches? It requires effort. When preparing to speak, immerse yourself entirely in the topic. What does this entail? Consider adopting the mindset of an actor, channeling your subject through your expression. Regardless of the cause or case, you must, in essence, embody it. Let it become part of you, akin to wearing a costume or being possessed by a spirit. Many actors isolate themselves for hours before a performance to maintain focus. Consider employing a similar strategy. By fully transforming into your subject, you will undoubtedly capture the interest and emotions of your audience. Chapter 4. Gestures can indeed be learned, but they must originate from genuine emotion. While gestures can be acquired, they must arise from authentic feelings. How do you intend to address the situation with that tree? You know, the weathered apple tree in your backyard with its stunted, bare branches. Consider this approach. You might hasten to the garage, retrieve your chainsaw, and remove branches from your neighbor's towering oak tree, then transport them to your yard and attach them to your tree's trunk. If only horticultural challenges were resolved with such simplicity. It is common knowledge that a tree's outward appearance reflects its internal condition. Yet, it requires imagination to apply this principle to the art of gesture. When delivering a speech, your movements and gestures should stem from the genuine emotions you experience while engaging with your speech's topic. Theatrical or contrived gestures will appear as incongruous as oak branches affixed to an apple tree. Therefore, gestures should be the natural expression of true emotion, though this does not preclude practice. You cannot prearrange every gesture to accompany your speech. Effective gestures must suit the occasion, arising naturally and spontaneously each time you present. If you have observed a skilled speaker deliver the same speech more than once, you will notice that gestures vary from one delivery to another. However, spontaneity does not guarantee quality. Indeed, natural gestures can often be awkward. To enhance your movements, prepare for each speech by observing yourself in a mirror. Identify gestures that appear awkward or unnecessary and make adjustments accordingly. Gesticulation is akin to pronunciation. The more you practice, the less conscious effort will be required. Continuous practice will render your gestures effortless and natural, emerging spontaneously at appropriate moments. Additionally, remember that excessive movement can distract from the message of your speech. Strive to eliminate all unnecessary gestures. Ensure your gestures align with your message. It would seem peculiar to declare, "There he goes," and then, after a brief pause, gesture toward the departing individual. Also, remember that facial expressions and posture are forms of gesture. Ensure that both your posture and expressions are congruent with the spirit of your speech. Once you have practiced sufficiently, you can trust your own judgment. Allow the subject of your speech to guide you, and your gestures will soon match the potency of your words. Chapter 5. The importance of health for a strong voice. Maintaining good health is essential for a strong voice. Have you ever considered what basketball players share with public speakers? Both need to be at ease in front of an audience, but there's more to it. They both require excellent cardiovascular health. Whether executing a slam dunk or addressing a large audience, robust lungs are beneficial. Strong lungs are vital for producing a resonant and powerful voice. The author once knew a successful speaker who would practice speeches while running to enhance lung capacity through deep breathing. If you are not inclined towards athletics, there is a simple exercise to improve lung capacity and teach diaphragmatic breathing, which optimizes air intake. Stand with your hands on your waist. Without moving your hands, attempt to touch the fingers of one hand to the other, expelling all air from your lungs. Inhale deeply into your abdomen without raising your shoulders. Repeat. However, lung capacity is not the sole requirement for a strong voice. Relaxation is equally critical. To project your voice effectively, your throat must be open. Some straightforward exercises can help manage tension. Pivot at the waist while moving your torso in horizontal circles. This movement relaxes your neck and allows your head to fall forward, promoting an open and relaxed throat. To further enhance throat openness, mimic a yawn. Notice how your throat naturally opens as you yawn. Instead of completing the yawn, try speaking. This technique should increase volume and enrich your tone. Vocal projection is not solely about volume. It also involves placement. Even at the back of a theater, the sound of a crumpled piece of paper is audible, despite its lack of volume. It is possible to make a whisper heard by everyone if the voice is placed correctly. Achieve this by pitching the voice forward. Practice by holding your hand in front of your face and saying words like crash, dash, whirl, and buzz with force. Continue until you can feel the sound vibrations on your hand. Chapter 6. Strategically positioning your audience to enhance the impact of your speech. Consider the importance of strategically positioning your audience to enhance the impact of your speech. Imagine the tranquility of a serene outdoor setting, the gentle sounds of nature, and the vastness of a starry sky. In such a setting, you prepare to build a campfire, gathering dry sticks and arranging them thoughtfully to ensure a sustainable blaze. This methodical approach is essential for success. Now think of a speaker as a match and the influence of their speech as the flame. To truly captivate and inspire, the speaker must consider the optimal arrangement of their audience. Setting metaphors aside, let's examine why positioning audience members in close proximity can amplify the impact of your speech. When the audience is arranged in a compact formation, it transforms into a cohesive group. Such a group, as noted by the 19th century social thinker John Ruskin, is susceptible to collective thinking. Essentially, by fostering a sense of unity among your audience, your message can spread more effectively. To achieve this, connect with individual listeners by addressing shared concerns, needs, aspirations, and emotions. When audience members recognize that their concerns are shared by others, they naturally form a collective. If you remain skeptical about the influence of group dynamics, consider this common experience. At a concert, when the music pauses and one person begins clapping, soon the entire audience joins in, even if it was only a brief intermission. This is a demonstration of collective influence. Historical examples further illustrate this phenomenon as autocratic regimes like the Soviets prohibited public gatherings, fearing the spread of dissent. By mastering the art of forming a cohesive audience, your message can spread with remarkable efficiency, akin to a rapidly spreading fire. Chapter 7. Enhance your argumentative skills by critically evaluating your arguments. Enhance your argumentative skills by critically evaluating your arguments. There was once a king who aspired to dominate the world and possessed an extraordinary talent. He was adept at constructing impregnable castles. However, this king also had a significant weakness. He was unable to dismantle his adversary's fortifications. Constructing a compelling argument will be futile if you are unable to counter the arguments presented against you. If you cannot effectively challenge the counterarguments of potential opponents, their assertions will be as unassailable to you as your own. To be a proficient speaker, you must excel in both constructing and deconstructing arguments. Inevitably, every speaker will encounter opposition to their views. The author adeptly explains how to construct and dismantle arguments. Instead of merely listing argumentative guidelines, he offers a series of insightful questions. Every argument consists of 4 components: the question under discussion, the evidence, the reasoning, and the inferences. Here are 8 questions, 2 for each component, that will assist you in evaluating any argument. For the question under discussion, first inquire whether it is articulated clearly. This involves ensuring that all key terms are understood uniformly by each party. For instance, if an opponent uses the term gentleman, ensure his definition aligns with yours. Secondly, ask whether it is presented fairly. Perhaps there is insufficient information, or the argument's formulation may contain a hidden pitfall. Regarding the evidence of the argument, first ascertain which experts are being cited. Are they impartial? What qualifies them as experts? Are their opinions clear, reliable, and unbiased? Secondly, evaluate which facts are being mentioned. Are there enough? Do they corroborate or contradict one another? Are they verified or open to debate? Concerning the reasoning of the argument, first consider whether the facts might support an alternative conclusion. Secondly, determine if all counterarguments have been shown to be relatively weak. Regarding inferences, here are 2 useful questions. First, are you guilty of non sequitur, meaning offering a conclusion that does not logically follow from the evidence? Secondly, do all your pieces of evidence align with each other? Remember, do not only ensure that your own arguments withstand these questions, apply them to your opponent's arguments as well. This way, you will be a formidable presence as unassailable as our king in his castle, but equipped with the ability to dismantle fortifications effectively. Chapter 8. Utilizing Imagination in Public Speaking. Imagination can significantly enhance your public speaking effectiveness. While a well-structured argument forms the basis of any persuasive speech, relying solely on logic may render a presentation dull and uninspiring. Though logical reasoning provides a strong foundation, it is essential to captivate your audience. Thus, leveraging the power of imagination is crucial when preparing for a public speaking engagement. One effective method is to incorporate figurative language. For instance, if your speech argues that alcohol is detrimental or that alcoholism disrupts family harmony, stating your thesis followed by a mere recitation of statistics may suffice for data-driven audiences. However, it is likely to disengage most listeners. A more impactful approach is to engage your audience's imagination through storytelling. Narrate a compelling story of an individual returning from a weekend of excessive drinking, causing distress at home. Such vivid imagery is more engaging and memorable than mere numerical data or generalized statements. Another strategy is to visualize the speech you are about to deliver. Prior to presenting, create mental images of the speech's progression. This includes envisioning your audience and predicting their reactions, both positive and negative. This preparation can help alleviate anxiety and equip you to handle unexpected challenges. With your audience clearly envisioned, mentally rehearse your speech, considering your words, delivery style, and potential gestures. Visualizing these aspects enhances recall and increases the likelihood of a persuasive presentation. Imagery is intrinsic to poetry, and it is important to remember that public speakers are, in essence, poets as well. By embracing this concept and allowing your speech to unfold through vivid imagery, you can ensure your presentations are memorable and impactful. Conclusion. Final summary. The primary message in this presentation is that becoming an effective public speaker requires consistent practice. However, there are techniques that can enhance your success. Initially, avoid monotony by using emphasis effectively. Ensure your gestures arise from genuine emotion, engage your audience effectively, and enhance your voice by maintaining good cardiovascular health. Additionally, test both your arguments and those of your opponents and utilize imagery to prepare and construct your speeches. Another valuable suggestion is to expand your vocabulary. Your speeches will be significantly more compelling with an extensive vocabulary. Mastery of language is essential for effectively communicating ideas. To expand your vocabulary, it is essential to use new words. Therefore, when you next read Mantegna's essays or Wordsworth's poetry, take note of unfamiliar words. Importantly, incorporate them into your next speech.